Hi, I'm Danielle Lenard.
And I'm John Dave Lenard. Welcome to Lenard Team Connections.
On today's episode, it's all about the kids. Being at home is an adjustment for all of us and kids of all ages. So, we're going to have some free resources we have found to keep children entertained. And our guest, Melanie Rasmussen, is an expert at learning from home.
But first, we want to talk about some things around the community. First of all, Danielle, you could talk about local school happenings.
Yes. So our local elementary school, Bretton Woods, did a parade all throughout the neighborhood. And it was just really super sweet. 82 cars, my friend's son counted, were honking. They came through, they were honking, they had signs. Some of the teachers were standing out the sunroofs. It was just really, really moving. And I mean, even my older kids were watching. Sam ran and looked and ran back into Fortnite, but I got a tear in my eye and they were making fun of me.
Yeah, well, it's understandable right now, to have those emotions. So, at any rate, in other news, I think it just actually wrapped up, but it's still fun and worth doing. We did it for a couple days, and that is lunch doodles with Mo Willems. And even though my kids are older now, being 9 and 13 or almost 13, um, the Mo Willems is something that they grew up with, and they're really, it's close to their hearts. So each day for like 15 days, I think he went live, and so we participated. Right, he went live and showed us how to do some of his famous drawings. Like there's pigeon, everybody's
I
aware.
love that.
Yeah, and here's one more. And so it was a fun thing to do over lunchtime every day for a while. And now, even though I think he's wrapped up, they're still available at the KennedyCenter.org and also via YouTube. So just Google Mo Willems lunch doodles.
That looks
Oh,
super.
and there's one more thing, Danielle.
What?
If I think they're still doing it. If you do hashtag Mo lunch doodles, they're still posting some of them, and in addition to that, also tag your drawings when you share them, hashtag Lenard Team Connections, so that we can see them here, and maybe we can post some in a future show.
That'd be super fun.
Yeah, why
Another
not?
thing that's really great right now is Harry Potter at Home. J.K. Rowling and her team have released Harry Potter for free on Audible for everyone, and they're also providing free resources for teachers during this time. I actually read one of the teachers wrote that in her first grade class, they had been reading the first book, and she was
Sure.
really disappointed that as a class, they weren't going to be able to finish it together. And because of this, they're able to video chat it together.
Oh, that's a great use for Zoom. And you know what? Also, I just heard in the news yesterday that she was showing symptoms. J.K. Rowling, the author, but she's recovering and getting better. So great news for all you Harry Potter fans out there.
So, anybody else that has some favorite resources that they're using right now, please go ahead for the children and share them in the comments. That would be great.
Great. So next, many parents are getting their first taste of teaching with their children at home. Melanie Rasmussen is the owner of Reach for the Stars Tutoring, with more than 16 years of experience. If you have any questions for Melanie, drop them in the comments.
Hi, Melanie.
Hi, Melanie.
So we know that Reach for the Stars recently celebrated 16 years. Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
So can you tell us more about Reach for the Stars tutoring and how you're adjusting your services right now?
Sure. So as you said, we've been in business 16 years. We have a staff of about 50 teachers working for us. Traditionally, pre-coronavirus, we provided services in kids' homes at their local libraries and did some online tutoring. As soon as we saw kind of the writing on the wall with as far as quarantining and all that. We were proactive. We got our teachers all trained in providing online tutoring sessions in different platforms, because not every student is comfortable with every platform. So this way we have choices and options for the students. So we got proactive in that sense. And now it's wonderful because geography is no longer an issue. It doesn't matter if I have an amazing teacher in Shoreham and a student in Merrick, I can make that happen. We do individual tutoring. We can also do small group. We can do larger group through things like Zoom and things like that. So if a child is having some difficulty and they want to invite some of their classmates to join with them, we can do a group session that way.
So let me get this straight. Prior to this, had your tutors ever used tools like Zoom and FaceTime to do tutoring, or was this new to you?
Occasionally they had, but for the most part, even though we said we offered it, most parents really preferred in person, somebody sitting next to their child. So truly, this was a learning experience for all of us, but a good one. You know, it's nice going forward. That now that we have been proactive, that we can offer this service going forward. So we work with kids of all ages, preschool through college and adult students, all subjects, general ed, special ed, college, whatever it is that they need, test prep.
Wow, that's great.
Well, now test prep will be interesting with a lot of these tests being canceled.
Yeah, I'll get to that later. I have all the New York State announcements. Yeah.
Okay, great. So we're all in this new situation, working and learning from home. What advice do you have for parents of school-age children in regards to learning from home?
So first, give yourselves, parents, and no offense to you, John David, but moms kind of put a lot of pressure on themselves, and that mommy guilt feeling is really powerful. And we always feel like we're not doing enough and we're failing somewhere. So first and foremost, give yourselves a break. We're doing the best we can. We're all doing the best we can. We're going to make mistakes. Not everything's going to go right. Thank goodness we have, I don't know how many more days of quarantine. So if we don't get it right today, we can try again tomorrow. But one thing that you can do, one of the things that I am advising all of our clients to do, tips for homeschooling and distance learning success, help your child to create a quiet, dedicated spot for their online learning, someplace in the house, and let them be a part of that so they take ownership. Develop a consistent schedule and routine that will help everybody and ease everybody's anxiety. Help your children to prioritize their assignments and manage their time. It's actually a really good skill for them to have for the rest of their life to be able to do that.
Right.
Make sure they have all their necessary materials and tools on hand, and know when to take a break. You know, some kids and adults like to plow right through things. Other kids and adults need breaks, and that's okay. Help them to plan that and be aware of that. And your role as the parent, obviously this depends on the age of your child and the maturity and independence level, but really trying to encourage and support their independence and rewarding their efforts and their achievements.
Wow, that's all really good advice.
You just gave a lot of great tips, and maybe you could put them in the comments below when we're done. But being prepared, having a quiet space, do you need breaks? Do you not need breaks? And prioritizing, what you need to get done is, like you said, lifetime, all great tips. So Melanie, thanks again for being here with us. If you're watching this on Facebook Live and have a question for Melanie about virtual tutoring or learning from home, go ahead and put it in the comments, and we'll answer them at the end if we have time.
Thank you.
Melanie, how do you suggest balancing structured learning time with play and downtime for kids?
Okay, so I kind of touched on this before, but more isn't always better, and that's true in life. And I tend to be a workaholic, so I need to take this lesson internally for myself. Try not to stress throughout this process. Again, remember, we're all in the same boat. We're all having challenges. This is unprecedented for every one of us, from school teachers and administrators to the parents and for the children. If you are having some difficulty and your child is having difficulty, reach out to the teachers. They're there, they're accessible. You can email them or reach out to them through Google Classroom. Again, help your children to create some kind of schedule so they have that balance. And as I talked about before, Some students will get up in the morning and just plow through it and then play the rest of the day. Other students would rather be a night owl and sleep in a little bit and get their work done later. This is a real great opportunity for students and parents to really learn about time management strategies.
Perfect.
A therapist also gave me this advice earlier, actually a day or so ago, when I was stressing out about everything. And they said, try to do one of the following 4 categories, one per day. And this is for kids and adults. Try to do something that's intellectually or mentally stimulating. Try to do something that's physically stimulating. Go for a walk, do stretching, do yoga, do something. Something that's social, connecting with family and friends, either picking up the phone or doing a video chat. And something that's just mindless. It's so easy to get caught up in the news and to be watching it 24/7, but we also need and deserve time for our brains and our minds to just completely disconnect and do something silly, mindless, watch that ridiculous tiger show that's on.
But what you're saying is like also, because I think maybe I'm speaking for myself here, there's a certain amount of guilt in doing things that are mindless because it seems like we should always be doing something. But you're saying like allow ourselves to have that time for our brains to rest.
Yeah. And again, I'm a workaholic, so I'm the worst at this. When I'm sitting and I have nothing to do, I feel like I should have something to do. But teaching yourself, not all the time, of course, you got to get your work done, but it's okay. Allow yourself permission at least once a day to do something mindless. It could be something like playing a game on your phone. It could be anything, but something that's really mindless that takes your head and brain away from everything.
Just don't get lost in it. Like have like a timer or something. Like, okay.
It really seems like that's one of the lessons in all of this for everybody is to take that moment and to take the time to just relax your mind and do something. So those are all really great tips again. Before we started to touch on some of the state testing, what are the updates that you have for New York Public Schools that parents should know about?
So obviously, I think everybody heard by now that the governor said yesterday all schools and essential businesses are going to stay closed through at least April 29th. I'll be honest with you, my personal opinion, I'm not so sure that we're going back at all, but I know nobody wants to hear that at this point, but that's my gut feeling. So the Board of Regents, Betty Rosa, announced yesterday all June Regents exams are canceled. They came out with some more information just a little while ago. Basically, they're going to give you credit for the course. You'll still get credit for the course, but the June Regents are canceled. They're waived completely. Students don't have to take them. They're going to obviously change the graduation requirements so that they're not required. And then any students that failed the actual class, they can have the opportunity to retake it in summer school. According to what I'm reading, it doesn't look like they'll be taking the Regents in August either. And that's honestly fair because their peers didn't have to do it in June. But if they didn't master the class material, that's important. And they'll get the chance to do that again in summer school. The other thing that I found out is AP exams. Those are advanced placement exams that high school students are taking to get college course credit. Those are still happening. Those are important because again, they're for college credit. So those are going to be happening. They happen, I think it's between May 11th to the 22nd. Those are going to be held online. Students can access them through their smartphone, tablet, or computer. It's going to be a condensed version of the test. The exams are usually 2 to 3 hours long. This is going to be about 45 minutes long, so significantly shorter. And they're going to structure the test to make sure they're addressing the material that most of the students should have covered by early March in their classroom. So it should be something that's fair and gives kids a fair shot at really passing the exam.
Okay, great. Thank you for that information. Melanie, before we continue, there's something we need to touch upon, and that's the fact that through all of this, you offer as a business tutoring, as you mentioned, to all ages and all needs, but you're also donating tutoring time for people in need right now. A lot of people are being furloughed. Some people are unfortunately losing their jobs or are out of work for whatever reason. And can you just tell us a little bit about that? What are you offering and how to reach out to you?
Sure. So the best way to reach out to me is on Facebook. Reach for the Stars Tutoring. We have a Facebook business page, or you can look me up personally on Facebook. we're doing our best to offer as much as we can. Especially, I've connected with a few families where mom and dad are first responders. They're on the front lines. They have so much. We think we have stress. They have so much added stress on their daily plate. And the last thing they honestly need to worry about and stress about is worrying about their kids completing their assignments or struggling with geometry or something. So for families where there's first responders, we are offering up to 10 families free 1 hour per week online tutoring until we go back to school. And honestly, I'm not quite sure when that'll be. But also, if there's families that are really struggling, and there's a lot of them, we have a lot of parents who stopped tutoring because both mom and dad got laid off and there is no income coming in and they're more worried about getting food on the table, understandably. We're working with families. We'll work out whatever we can. We do offer credit card payment options. We will work out payment plans, deferring payments, whatever is necessary to make sure that the students are getting what they need and that we can ease the stress a little bit on the families.
Great, thank you.
Melanie, thank you so much for joining us today. I mean, we really appreciate you helping keep us informed. Everybody, make sure you check out Reach for the Stars Tutoring on Facebook, where Melanie is posting tips and resources for learning from home. Melanie, is that is the best place to reach you at for any additional questions, right?
It truly is. People can private message me whatever they want. That's really the best way to get me. The other thing I forgot to mention is the College Board, who is the entity that puts on those AP exams. They actually have free online resources, so you can check out College Board, and I do have the link on my Facebook page as well.
Okay, great. Well, thanks again for joining us on the Lenard Team Connections. We look forward to connecting with more people like Melanie who are supporting our community. Stay healthy, stay safe, and see you next time.
Thank you.